Heavenly Parent, God, we thank you that you designed and created this incredible universe and allowed us to be born at this very special time in the history of mankind. When the resurrection is taking place, we are grateful that 2,000 years ago Jesus was here, and we're sorry that his message was not understood or realized or completed. And now, in this age, in this 21st century, we are grateful that through our true parents we have the opportunity to complete this process of resurrection and recreation and restoration. Thank you that you are able to bring us here. This is a special 80-year anniversary of the time when our true father, as a 16-year-old young boy in the mountains of Korea, was able to have a direct experience with your son, Jesus Christ. And from that time on, he dedicated his entire life to becoming the true Christian and accomplishing and fulfilling that which was left unfulfilled. Help us to consummate and complete our own purpose of our lives, and help us to resurrect and be recreated. Thank you for guiding us here in this special place, this Hanging Rock State Park here in North Carolina. We are each grateful to be here. Please bless us, bless our families, bless our ancestors, bless our own lives, and help us to really embody your love and your truth and your goodness. Help us to complete the resurrection and become your true sons and true daughters. Thank you. We offer our prayers to you as we gather together for this wonderful Sunday service. We offer this prayer and report these things in our names as Blessed Central Families. In my name, John Pace, with Sharon Pace, as Blessed Central Family. Amen and adieu.
Romans 6, 8 through 11. Now if we died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with him. For we know that since Christ was raised from the dead, he cannot die again. Death no longer has mastery over him. The death he died to sin. The death he died to sin once for all. But the life he lives to God. In the same way, count yourselves dead to sin, but also to God in Christ Jesus.
Pardon me. This next passage is from Sun Myung Moon's Encounter with Jesus. On April 17th, 1935, he was praying on South Hill, which was half a mile from his home, when Jesus appeared to him. Addressing Sun Myung's youthful ambition, Jesus asked him to make the establishment of the kingdom of heaven on earth his life's work. He refused. To dream this one thing, but to promise to God is something else altogether. He was not one to make promises lightly, out of a desire to please or in the awe of a spiritual experience. Jesus asked him again, "This is my work, my mission, and I want you to take it over." Sun Myung refused again. Jesus gave him a third time, "There is no one else who can do this work." His meditations of a world in perpetual suffering returned him. From the comfort of his youthful ideals, he peered over the abyss of the difficulties that would lie ahead and decided, "I will do it," he promised.
Okay, good morning everyone, and happy Easter. Why don't you just turn to each other and give each other an Easter greeting of your own.
Oh, good. Jacket. I saw you with just the short sleeves. I said, that's no good.
And you know what? I already saw some Easter eggs right now.
Oh my God.
The Easter bunny came through here already. Okay? But of course, we came here to connect to the
It's cold up here.
other
Forgot to bring a shirt.
right?
Okay. I wish I had an extra one in the car, but there was nothing in there.
Let me get to my talking points here.
Oh well, I'll burn more calories. Looks like little kids' coats. It's okay, I'll survive. It's not that fast.
As you know, Easter is a time when we, as we learned in the scripture reading, is a time where we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. Yeah? And a victory for God, because God didn't wait too long after the terrible tragedy of Jesus' crucifixion and declared a victory 3 days later. And that has a deep meaning for us all, right? Because we all have our own tragedies, and we shouldn't wait too long to get back up on our feet, isn't it? Right. But then there's even more to it. For Christianity, this is the most important holiday, commemoration, and it's done in so many different ways, right? Musically, artistically, in many ways. But also, it's amazing that Jesus Christ used the occasion to commemorate this resurrection, to pass on an incredible mission. And to me, that is so amazing. Imagine, you're 15 years old. Who here is what, 15 or 16? Anybody?
We always have to think down.
That's good, if you feel like this, that's great, you know. But, I mean, if you just think it through, there you are, a 15-year-old young man, boy, and Jesus Christ is coming to you. First of all, it's an amazing experience because it may have been the first time that a young 15-year-old Sun Myung Moon had an appearance by Jesus. So imagine, put yourself in this young boy's shoes. In the reading you heard that he was actually shaking. He didn't expect that. But this didn't come just out of blue sky. I think such kind of dramatical event, and I think I heard from him, Samuel Moon, saying, God likes the dramatical effects. He likes to make things dramatic. And the fact is that such things don't come just out of blue sky. God has prepared this moment for a long time. Imagine a 15-year-old kid going on a mountain in the night and praying all night. I haven't done that yet. Okay, I don't know how many 15-year-olds are around doing such kind of things. I was always amazed about the deep emotion Sun Myung Moon had already as a kid. But then, this may be really God's work. We have to really imagine that. God has planned it for a long time. Did you know that the Moon family, they were part of regular shamans, Confucianists. And when you read the story, there was a lot of problems in the family. A lot of things happened. And 5 children died in the family. Then all the livestock died. And what was the meaning of this? It was to move the Moon family and prepare them for Christianity. So they joined 1931 the Presbyterian Church. Because they believed that maybe the Christian God, the Christian one God, might maybe stop all these bad fortune that happened. So again, is there a lesson in there for us? If something bad happens in your life, it may be actually for, good for something of a greater purpose. I think many of us had such experiences. Particularly the older ones of us who can look farther back, have more of a perspective. When I broke my leg, 24 years old, it was good for me. Because at that time I learned English. And then I went on a trip. I went to Israel. I spoke English, I could go out in the war. Right? Coming back from Israel, what happened next? Jesus sent 2 young friends I made in Israel to make sure that when I meet and I get that calling, that somebody would be there to help me to see the light and to recognize the truth. And that never happened. Yeah? So, when something bad happens to you, God has some other plans. So it happened in the Moon family. Okay, I don't want to talk too long. I don't want to go too much into details of it. But also think about how was it for Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ tried to pass on a mission that was so difficult already 2,000 years ago. And how much did Jesus Christ know about the coming suffering for this young man? That's not an easy thing to do. And amazingly enough, already this young boy has insight. No, it's impossible. No one can do that. Mission impossible. Okay. And then, as we now put the dots together, we know more of the rest of the story. We know it was even more difficult 2,000 years later than it was with Jesus Christ. We don't have to go through all the problems Father had to face, but he had been several times declared dead. Has been put back to life. Continue. So here's a painting, of course. We had a camera then, right? No selfies with Jesus and me, right? But a painting, you can only imagine how it really was. But it was a spiritual event. And those of us who had spiritual experiences, maybe even with Jesus or with true Father, many of us had, they know how this works. So, let's just imagine. I think all of us, particularly the first generation, they had that experience of when God called you. That's distinct experiences. It may be a little bit different for second generation. But even you should really, I think, open up your eyes, your senses, and expect something. Would you want to God, Jesus, or true Father to come to you and personally speak to you, invite you to become real? And Jesus Christ appeared to your Father. There was a real point, a real connection, a real commitment had to be made. there anybody who remembers this dramatic moment when God called on you? There is Dorothy.
I really remember very clearly when God called me. There was also a time of preparation. I want to first talk about when God called me. It was at the 2-day workshop, which was May 24, 25th, 1975. I was invited to a 2-day workshop, and it went along pretty well. And every time I listened to the principal, I had to say, wow, this is so true. I believe that too. One session after another. So I remember after the first day, I was kind of nervous because I thought if it keeps going like that, that means at the end I have to say, I need to do this. And I was really worried because I am a Catholic. How can I just all of a sudden give up my life? And that really worried me. And I had a conversation with the staff member, and the staff member said, if you come to conclude that that's what God wants from your life, then He will give you the strength to do it. And that hit my heart. That was like healing palm on my soul. I was so worried about that. How can I do this? How can I do this? Similar like Father, how can I do this? And this kind of heavy feeling kind of dissipated when that member consoled me that God will be with you if you come to recognize that this is the way. So then I started the second day of the workshop, went on throughout the history, parallels of history, lots of questions, because it seemed just too much made up that it all fitted like that. And it really, I didn't deny it, but it really worried me. But then came the big moment. And the big moment was the second coming lecture. And all I still remember is the big whiteboard. And they wrote down 1960, Marriage of the Lamb. And the moment that was right there in front of me, it was like a spiritual experience. And there was like light coming into my spirit. And I knew that the Messiah had come. It was like the fulfillment, the time I had been waiting for. I was waiting for the time of the return. And here it was, right in front of me. The truth, the Messiah was here, and I was made aware of it. I was like coming out of a darkness into the light. I saw the light, and that never dissipated. We are living in an amazing time where the Messiah is here, and He has called us. We are those beloved, chosen sons and daughters, and I'm deeply grateful for what has God done in my life to make me actually ready for this time. So that's my sharing.
Wow, thank you.
And yes, is there anyone else who had a particular dramatic experience when that call?
Maybe just a minute. When I met the church, it was really the dramatic moment for me was when I saw this young witnesser in my city, downtown, with a sandwich board, which asked that very controversial question: was the crucifixion of Jesus Christ a victory for God or a victory for Satan? And I didn't like that Satan part because at that time I struggled to understand God.
And Satan, that was far away issue. Okay. And when I told this lady, which I then called later on my spiritual mother, right? That there is no need for any new revelation or new understanding or new expression of truth. I walked away and she called behind me, "This is so foolish. You're so foolish, so foolish." And this stuck in my mind. Because of this, I continued studying with divine principle. Well, we have some guests here, right? And for you all, this is, you have no connection to it probably, but if you have questions later on, ask, I really applaud you for joining us, and there's always something new, something unexpected for any of us. Happens all the time, right? So, I think with this we come to the end of this sermon part, right? And we could close off with a song, and we have a closing prayer. Yeah. So, thank you so much.